You looked at the island and you realized, no, this island is an island, and it knows itself.
Stay with us to know all the assorted news. There is one person in London who is different from common people. His name is Brendon Grimshaw. He works as an editor in the London newspaper. Like other human beings, he too has a dream of a good career and a good lifestyle. He can go to a very high level from his work. But there is a different dream than only working in a newspaper in London. At one party, one boy asked him, if he will be left in the unknown island alone with them, what he will do. In this question, Brendon replied as he wanted to live alone at that island. After returning from the party, the question that was asked by a little boy was roaming inside his head. He is not a young boy now because he's 40 years old and has not married yet. Neither does he have his own home, family and spouse. So, he heads towards new life from this common world. He also tried to share his ideas among his colleagues, but his colleagues laughed at him, saying him as a mad boy. His dream was to have his own island where he could live alone. But he doesn't have enough money for that. After then, all the money that he had collected during his entire life from his work was invested in the Moyenne Island by his own will. The island was not too big. It costs around $13,000 to buy that island. He reached that island by leaving his past life. But he saw that the island was too dirty and dusky. He spent many years cleaning the island. After some years, he came to know that there was another island near his island. On that island, one man named René Lafortune lived alone. They became friends to make the island beautiful. They bring food from the sea and give protection to the animals that come into their island. More than 10 decades, Brendon and René lived together and protected the island together. They planted about 6,000 trees. New birds started to come to their island. In 10 years, varieties of birds started to live there. When the internet came, then their works went viral on the internet and they came into limelight in one night. He had spent 40 years on that island. His biography started to be published as a novel named A Grain of Sand, the story of one man and an island. But when his friend René died, he again became alone on his island. In 2010, the Prince of Saudi Arabia asked him to sell the island at $50 million so that he could make a resort on that island. But Brendon refused the proposal, because he didn't want to make the vacation point of that island. As he had given his 60 years of life on that island, he also said that he wants this island as a national park after his death so that everyone can visit it free of cost. With the development of electricity, the government provided the facility of electricity and telephone in that island. Over the intervening years, Grimshaw and Lafortune planted 16,000 trees by hand, including 700 mahogany trees that have grown to reach 60 to 70 feet in height, and also constructed some 4.8 kilometers of nature paths before Lafortune's demise in 2007. The nature lover has also attracted about 2,000 new birds to the island, which he helps care for. He is also the caretaker of 120 giant tortoises. Grimshaw's island now also holds more than 2/3 of all endemic plants to the Seychelles. Brendon and his life on Moyenne Island gained quite a bit of attention in the years leading up to his death in 2012. Probably the most significant was a 75-minute documentary prepared by Joseph Johnson as producer and director. The documentary, which was made in 2010. Brendon Grimshaw's book, A Grain of Sand, The Story of One Man and an Island. Brendon's book, published in 1996, provides rich detail on Moyenne Island and his experience in living there for over 20 years. By the time of his death on July 3, 2012, just 3 weeks before his 87th birthday, Brendon had owned the island for 50 years. Brendon was always ready with a story for the many visitors who beat a path to his door, stories of hidden treasure and of the painstaking development of his island home and his tireless conservation efforts. He was the quintessential islander and a devoted lover of nature who poured his love for Moyenne into the island for nearly half a century.
Then you looked at the island and you realized, no, this island is an island, and it knows itself what it wants to do. And you know, because when you look at it, you realize, okay, we plant something here, it's not going to survive, because simply it's not the place for this particular sort of vegetation to grow. And along these lines, for example, there was an area where we wanted to take out the bush, and we realized that there was available mahoganies, and we brought over 50 just to see how they would go, and they loved the island. So the next year we brought over another 150, so that made it 200. These particular mahoganies you can see on the island today, they're 60, 70 feet high. They're doing very well. And so we have actually planted 700 mahogany trees on the island. But you see, the first thing that people say when you talk about or see the mahoganies is, oh, they make beautiful furniture. They see them as a source of wood for, oh, you name it, boats, housing, furniture, or anything. They don't see it as a tree. And I see it as a tree. I don't want to cut it down. I didn't plant it to cut it down. I planted it because I wanted it to be there.
This great man Mr. Brendon died in 2012, and according to his wish, that island was declared as a national park. Many people came to this island to visit the beautiful scenery of this island. They called this island a piece of heaven because it is a really amazing place to visit. Rest in peace, the great man, Brendon Grimshaw. Stay with us to know all the assorted news.